Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7. Live on hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man, 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars. On hot7025fm.com. Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. High 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
All right. Sorry about that. Hopefully everyone can hear me now. Am I good to go? Testing, just to make sure. I can be heard. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go right back into it. I'm gonna just kind of start a little bit from the top, just to kind of make sure that you heard everything I did say on that one. I was just talking about how I'm always on here talking about, knowing when to fight and knowing when to let go. About recognizing when something no longer benefits you and having the courage to walk away from it. But tonight, I want to talk about the other side of growth. I want to talk about how sometimes growth is not about cutting people off, right? Sometimes growth is about leaning in, just kind of showing a little more attention, a little more, how do you want to say, acknowledgement, maybe in a way too. Sometimes growth is about staying long enough to fix what's broken, staying long enough to change what needs changing, So instead of just automatically assuming it's time to just go ahead and walk away, maybe you need to kind of sit down and tune in and be like, well, why is this happening? Where is this coming from? Is there a root cause to this problem? Is there a reasonable solution to this problem? Is this something that's going to be fixed overnight? Maybe not, or maybe not. Is this something that may take time and may take attention and effort in order for it to come through? Possibly so, completely so. But maybe it's not always about just kind of checking for the door. You know what I mean? Sometimes staying long enough to become who you said you were going to be is probably what you want to look forward to in that sense of manner. So tonight we're going to talk about meaningful solutions. Okay. So we want to talk about repairing trust, maintaining consistency, change behavior, and learning how to be selfless in the places that need us the most. And I want to be clear. Okay. Walking away is sometimes necessary. But so is stepping up. Completely necessary. I want to talk about how people, mending versus running away from things. A lot of us are real good at leaving. We know how to walk away. We know how to go ahead and just be like, you know what, I'm over it. I'm going to just leave it be. It is what it is. I'll deal with somebody else or something else than this. We know how to walk away, but that's crazy. We know how to cut people off. I think at this point in time, especially with the technology, we have learned to the best of our abilities to cut people off anytime we want to, unless we want to keep communicating with them. So let's be honest. We know how to block numbers. We know how to disappear. But what we struggle with ultimately is accountability. It's simple. I mean, I know accountability may seem difficult, but once you kind of practice at it, get better at it, improve at it, you'll see how easy it is and how easy it becomes. What we struggle with is sitting in the discomfort of our own mistakes and deciding to do better anyway. Sometimes protecting your peace isn't about running. Sometimes protecting your peace is about fixing what's broken. Because not everything that hurts you is meant to be abandoned. Gotta be honest. Some things are meant to be healed. Conversations have to happen. You can't expect anything to improve or go anywhere without those conversations happening. You can't be afraid of the uncomfortable conversations. Can't be afraid of the uncomfortability when you're growing. That's what growth is. It's going to have you uncomfortable because you don't know the level you're going to be at or you're going to. You're only assuming. Oh, I just found this new sparkling water, by the way. The mango flavor is fire. But again, some things are actually meant to be healed. And the only way to start that process is by start with those conversations that you may feel are too difficult. And they may be at first because you don't know how the other person will react. But everyone hears something a certain way that'll get them to understand. And being that you are dealing with that kind of person or situation, you should know that. So let's say you've been at a job for a year and you have this manager, assistant manager that, they completely are just very, I don't know, they worry about the smallest things that you all have no control over, but they put it on you anyway, whatever the case may be. If you've been working with them for a year, when you know that they're like that, ultimately, you say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna quit this job. But all you can do is really approach them, have the conversation, right? If that conversation doesn't go well, if you can have the conversation you need to have with them, hey, I'm sure there's somebody else that you can get involved where you all can sit down together and have that conversation. I've been there before and I've had those conversations, and I know that it's easy to get those situations taken care of. Instead of me leaving that job that's going to be taking care of my bills and having to find something else that may be better, I'd rather take my chances where I'm at and just at least try to have the conversations. Now, again, if it just doesn't get better, nobody does anything, and the situation gets worse, by all means, I probably am going to look forward to actually taking a hike and finding a new place of employment. That'll be completely okay. But I would at least have those conversations first. You're dealing with a friend like that. I would at least some people have these friends that like to go out and party, and maybe they don't have kids and one set has kids and some things are not understood. But most people will get agitated with each other over just not having the conversation like, hey, listen, I'm a parent. So I would love to go out, but unfortunately I have no babysitter. Plus I'm not trying to just throw that on mom. So I kind of have duties and responsibilities. They don't get it and they don't understand because they don't have kids. So you have to have that conversation and not think that they just get it. Because me personally, I know if I call a friend, he's like, oh, I can't do it tonight. Probably got the kids, probably being a family man, probably doing his job. Hey, I can't get mad at that. Can't get mad at that at all. I can't get mad at all. So have those conversations with people. Explain what it is, express how it makes you feel. Hold each other accountable in that sense. But people are not mind readers. They're not going to know what you want and what you need resolved if you cannot open up and talk about it. If you cannot have these conversations that will improve you in life and help you grow, then what are you really aiming for? If you want to stay stagnant, then you can't complain about what's currently going on. You just have to accept it for what it is and continue to live life on the daily. And that's just a personal opinion. Again, don't take it to heart. It's just me trying to be honest with you in general. And let's talk about what real change actually looks like. Okay. Not promises, not speeches, not social media posts. Real change is quiet. Real change is listening without getting defensive. It's apologizing without explaining yourself, and it's changing the patterns, not just the conversation. So how to explain that or express that in a better term when it says that, especially listening without getting defensive, everyone's going to say something, or not everyone. Let me correct that. Sometimes when having conversations, uncomfortable ones especially, some people are going to say some things that you may not like or you may not want to hear. The easiest thing to do is try to learn how to just hear everything out first before letting the emotions get involved and escalate your response. Okay. Sometimes people are trying to explain something, but because they get stopped at the comma instead of let them finish at the period, you don't really hear what they say. So it kind of goes in one ear and out the other after that. But also, like, apologizing without explaining yourself, meaning, talk is cheap. Actions speak louder than words. You can tell me all day long that you're going to be a football player, but if I do not see you in the gym, if I do not see you out on the field, if I do not see you practice and training, Whatever it may be that you need to do to get there done, I'm not gonna believe what you're talking about. At that point, you just saying it because that's your fantasy. No problem. Have your fantasy. No problem at all. But if I saw you and I see you out there grinding and working every day, showing it, putting the work in, I'm gonna be like, oh man, you probably can do it. You probably gonna make it. I hope, I pray that you make it actually. Keep grinding, put the work in and do what you gotta do, especially here in town now that we got a football team. But I would definitely see the fact that you are showing me that you actually want it versus telling me what you want. You know what I mean? So you can't just want to change and be better by just apologizing. It's not gonna work out. Words are kind of, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. Words will really just get tiring at one point. You wouldn't want to hear it no more. You get tired of hearing I apologize. It just doesn't work out, no matter what the situation is. The best apology is change behavior. So we have to learn what change behavior looks like. Like in relationships, it looks like being more patient, possibly, right? Maybe you need to be more calm in situations. Maybe you need to have more understanding for your partner. Maybe you need to have a better visual of what your partner actually looks at it as, or thinks of it as, so on and so forth. Maybe you need to be more present inside the relationship. Maybe you need to be around more. Or they need to, see you more, or they need better communication. Um, or more emotionally available. Maybe there's things that's going on and they just don't feel like they can open up and talk to you about them because of the situation, and maybe you need to be able to make yourself more open and available for that. That could be an issue, that could be an option. Let's say you're at work, it looks like stepping up when nobody's watching. So don't just wait for everybody to see what you're doing. Do it in general. Make it a habit so that way it'll be you stepping up, and then they may acknowledge it, they may not. You don't need them to. What you need to know is that you're doing your job. You're doing what you need to take care of. You need to be communicating better. So maybe you need to be, reaching out to colleagues more. Maybe you need to talk to your supervisors more. Maybe you need to, direct better out to your peers or to your employees better, however the case may be. But, and also owning your mistakes without excuses. Like, you know what? Listen, what I'm learning is excuses, like the old saying, excuses are like assholes. Everybody got one. Simple. Everybody got one. Um, it's if something happened, if you did it, if there's issues that you got going on, if there's communications you're not making, just own up to it. It is what it is. You got to move forward and do better. If you did better, you wouldn't be in the situation. But with friends, I didn't forget about that. It looks like checking in more. Maybe they feel like they're always reaching out to you and you never respond to them. You never say nothing to them. You probably are just always ghost or distant, whatever the case may be. But they're looking at you like, dang, where have you been? Why am I always calling you? You don't have my number anymore? Like, is my number even saved? Maybe showing appreciation for the fact that they do check in, right? Maybe letting them know that you appreciate them as a friend because of the fact that they stay closer. They keep the communication going, things of that nature, right? Or maybe they need you to be more reliable, right? Not just when it's convenient for you, but every single time, even when they need you. If they called you at 2 a.m., they want to be able to know that they can rely on you to be there for them. If that's the kind of friendship you have and they have it for you, if they can do that, then you should be able to reciprocate that same thing to them. Simple as that is how I look at it. Anybody can change for a week, right? Anybody can change for 7 days. That's not hard. But real growth shows up over time. So consistency is what matters with that. It's not really so on of I'm going to do it for a week and then maybe I'll do it again next month or maybe next year. No, it's more so doing it for a week and then knowing that, oh, I made it 7 days. All right, let me go another 7. Oh, I made it 2 weeks. Oh, let me go another 2 weeks. Oh, I made it a month. Oh, let me go another month. Oh, 2 months. Let me make it 4 months. That's what consistency looks like. You want to keep challenging yourself to how long you can maintain that discipline. Like nobody really understands how powerful consistency is, but when you start to master consistency in its different forms, you have a better opportunity ahead of you. You have better examples, better ways, better things to go with and go forward with. Consistency is the language that trust understands. You want to rebuild trust? You want to get things back to where they need to be. You want to make it stand out and show that you are who you say you are. You have to maintain consistency. Consistency is the only language that trust will understand after it has been broken. Other than that, it's not going to be an easy road. You're going to be trying to do everything in the world that's not going to work until you're consistently showing growth and improvement, no matter what you're trying to do. You don't rebuild trust with one good conversation. It don't work that way. You rebuild it with repeated behavior, change behavior, improve behavior. That's how you improve the trust. That's how you rebuild it. When the excitement fades, when it's uncomfortable, when nobody is clapping for you, if you say you've changed, your actions should be saying it too. So let's say when you first start changing, they're acknowledging and saying, oh man, I see you. You're doing a great job. Oh, look at that. You're doing better with this. You're doing better with that. That is a round of applause to acknowledge that they noticed the change, right? Let's say 2 weeks pass by, you notice no more acknowledgments come in. What do you think you should do? No, you should not go back to your old ways. You continue it, show consistency, because over time with that repeated behavior, the more you do it, the more you show it, that's when the trust gets rebuilt. That's how you show that you are who you say you are. Because even when nobody is looking and clapping for you, you are still maintaining the same discipline that you need in order to continue that growth. I know that things are hard to start, but everything is hard when you start. But as you go, as you learn, as you grow, you get better at it, you do better at it. That phrase, Rome wasn't built overnight. They had to take time to build something that's so beautiful. They had to. They had to take their time. So what it means is take your time doing what you need to do, taking the steps you need to take, and understand it's not going to happen overnight. The only thing that's going to happen overnight is the change of the date. I'll tell you that. The change of the date. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Your actions will always speak for you. What you do and how you do it will represent the person that you are. So real growth and real change is maintaining that consistency and discipline in order to show everyone I am who I say I am. No questions asked. Because you have to let go of being selfish. You have to be selfless. So I know it may be hard to be selfless, but it doesn't have to be a 24/7 thing, because there are some things you are entitled to, like your name. You know, all right, I'm gonna stop making jokes because I'm trying to be serious. But being selfless, I think in certain situations, most situations, especially dealing with people, work, friends, like selfishness has to go away. It just has to. It has to. So you have to learn to be at the point where, like, you know, you need a day off. Yes, okay, you need a day off. You can be selfish. You're asking for a day off. Who's going to be upset with you? They're asking for a day off. You probably got a lot going on. No big deal. You need a few hours to yourself. Cool, no problem. You need more than a day. Cool, no problem. Explain that, express that, let it be known, you know? But at the same time, it's okay at those times. But when you can't be selfish. You can't say every day of the week, oh, I need a day off. You can't have a day off every day of the week. It doesn't work like that. That's not how you grow and learn. If you're taking a day off every day of the week, you stand stagnant, comfortable. You ain't going nowhere. How you getting things done, you know? Sometimes the job needs more from you. Sometimes they need you to be on time all the time, or they need you to be there earlier than what you come in with. Sometimes they may need you to stay later. Sometimes they're going to need your help to do something that's probably not your work, but a colleague needs help. You know, sometimes they may need you to cover something that you had no intentions of covering, and now you're upset because, you know, you don't get to go pick up your lunch at 12:30 like you wanted to. So there's certain things where it's like, maybe you have to take one for the team, okay? Taking one for the team is a very selfless act, and we're not saying take one for the team every single day. Just when the suit fits, right? Or when the shoe fits, whatever you want to say. But sometimes the relationship needs more from you. Sometimes they need you to be more present, more active, more involved. Sometimes your family needs more from you. They need to see you more. They need to have you more family events. Maybe they have a certain thing that you thrive in that they need assistance with. There's so much going on. You never really know. But sometimes you have to be the one to step up to be there and show up and show out for them. Not because you're being used, definitely not because you're being used, but because you committed. You committed. Whether it's to that family, to your friends, to that job, to your relationship, you committed to that. So you have to show up being the best you that you can be. You know, being selfless isn't losing yourself. I don't know where that came from. It's not losing yourself. It's choosing love over ego. Essentially, that's it. It's just choosing love over ego. It's choosing to show up better than you did yesterday. That's it. It's just choosing to have you realize that yesterday I operated this way. Today I improved it by 0.1%. It's an improvement, right? It's an improvement. The thing with that is show up better than you did yesterday, because then you'll realize every yesterday was a learning lesson and a stepping stone to get to where you need to be. And when you climb that mountain and climb that hill and get to the top and you realize that you finally in control, you're going to be like, woo, woo. That's amazing. There's an artist called NF, and he's got a song called, I want to say it's called Trust. But in the song, he says what he wants to learn to do is to learn to handle his feelings, like pretty much learn to put his feelings in charge, or learn to let his feelings know that he's in charge, you know, to control his reactions and his emotions. So I put it in that way. Sometimes your emotions will make you feel like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, but you have to be selfless in some things to realize it. Let's say your birthday, for example. If you have a loved one that's got a birthday coming up, but y'all just had into a recent dispute, up until that dispute, you planned on celebrating with them. So when their birthday come, because it's 3 days away, a week away, or 2 weeks away, you better still celebrate. You know why? Because I guarantee you, when that dispute is over and y'all talk about it, you're gonna be like, damn, yeah, man, I should have did something. I came to your birthday. I should have been there. You're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it and be upset that you weren't there for. You're gonna be so upset. Hey, it's not. I'm not saying it like, I wanna. Sorry, I'm not saying it like I want it to be to. You can't get over it. What I'm saying is, it's one of those things where you can't really regret it, because at that time it was something you didn't want to do. So what I mean is, don't let that little pesky situation that y'all may overcome stop you from celebrating another year of love and growth for your friend, family, partner, whatever the case may be. I don't care how bad the situation was or the fight was. At least acknowledge their special day. Everybody deserves a smile and be happy on their birthday. Simple. Making amends. This is the part that I've been waiting for, because making amends is a touchy subject. If you damage something, it's okay to try and repair it. It's perfectly fine to try to repair it if you damage something. But understand this: if you broke something, you don't get to rush the repair. So yes, you get to attempt and try to repair it, but it's not up to you on how long that repair takes. So if it's at work, you don't get to understand and say, oh, well, I'm not doing that no more. It don't matter that you're not doing that more. Show the work, show the consistency. Show that you're doing better, that you're doing something out of, you're repairing it, you're fixing the issues that were at hand. If it's in a relationship, continue to do what's being asked. Continue to show growth and consistency and discipline, so that way that person sees that there's change and growth. If it's with your friends, continue to do that change and growth, so that your friends see that you're doing that change and growth. If it's with family, continue to be disciplined and continue to show consistency, so they can see the change and growth. It's not that hard. If you have to repair the situation because you are the one that broke it, you cannot rush them on how long that repair is going to take for that trust to be rebuilt with them. You have to continue to show them that no matter what the situation is and how they are lacking the trust in you now, you have to continue to prove to them, because that consistency is what builds the trust. That's the language that it understands. That's the bridge. That's the gap that it will bridge for you to be able to build that trust back where you want it to be. Continue to show them that you're going to work on it. No matter what it is, disagreements, whatever the case may be, continue to show your change, so that way those will improve. Conversations will improve. You will be able to see a better outcome all in all than sitting there feeling like that everyone else is to blame. You gotta you gotta understand, if you hurt someone, or you hurt a situation or something, it's okay to take responsibility for that, right? It's okay to understand and say, I didn't know I hurt you that bad. I didn't know I hurt that bad. I apologize that it went that way. And what can we do to start working back on it to fix it? You know what I mean? Hey, do you want me to be here at 8 o'clock instead of 8:30, so that way I'll have more time for you? Do you want me to stay till 5 instead of 4, so that way that'll be a little easier for communication? Hey, in that relationship, you need me to communicate with you more, so that way you understand what I'm trying to say to you? Hey, do you need me to come home at an earlier time, so that way I spend more time at home with you, or spend more time with the kids? Things of that nature. You have those conversations, so that way what the growth and improvement needs to be. You keep that change, you keep that consistency and discipline going, so that way when they look at it and say, oh, I don't need to worry now because I'm seeing it. I see it. You show me. But understand this. You have to apologize. You have to listen. And you have to listen attentively. Listen with the intent to understand, not with the intent to respond. Okay? You have to ask what they need. And then you show them with consistency. You just give them what they need over and over and over again, like you wearing the same outfit as a cartoon character every day. Simple as that. I personally have learned, especially with trying to make amends, I've learned that it's not about me believing that everything is okay. It's not about me feeling like everything is good to go and everything is straight because we're back on good terms. That's not fair for me to think that everything is good. What my focus should be is, hey, I'm just going to keep doing this and maintain this consistency, show you how disciplined I am about it, so that way I don't have to worry, because I know I've changed. I know I've done better, right? If I'm at work, if it's a situation and I need to do better at it, hey, I'll start arriving early. I'll start staying later. Hey, I'll start checking in to do this. I'll start checking in to do that. I'll start asking for help on this, asking for help on that. Whatever the case is that I need to do to make my work situation better, I'm going to do it. If it's one of my friends, hey, you know what? You feel like I'm not a good friend? Please, let's sit down and talk about that. I want to understand why you feel like I'm not a good friend. I want to know what I can do to be a better friend to you. And I want to know what that looks like to you, so I can actually do it. It's simple. It sounds simple, but it takes a little bit of work. I'll be honest. It takes a little bit of work. But it's just like the 5 P's: perfect practice prevents poor performance. Man, that's a mouthful. Perfect practice prevents poor performance. So basically, it's just saying the more you do it, the repetition, if you stay on it, then whenever it comes to the performance, you're never going to be on a low scale for it. You'll always be ready and prepared because you've always practicing and maintaining consistency and discipline with it. So, I learned that at a young age, and it helped me. I was a young manager for a cell phone store, and it really helped me create a good discipline when I heard that perfect practice prevents poor performance. Really, really was nice. Really, really, really was nice to hear. So growing up, I kind of, used that to scale things whenever I was trying to be good at something, whenever I wanted to show that I was different and changed. I wasn't really good at it when I was younger. I can't wait to be like really great at it as I continue to grow with it and do better at it. But, now I at least have a good foundation. Like over the last few years, I have a good foundation of what to do and how to operate when it comes to actually making amends, trying to do better and be better to show improvement. And sometimes you really just need to listen because we'd be so busy trying to explain or talk, we don't even have a chance to listen and understand what's going on. Y'all know that. That's crazy. So I say that it's a difficult path when you look at it, but as soon as you take the first step, you'll see how easy it'll be to continue walking because it's really walking and just learning. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna mess up and you're gonna have to learn from it. It's okay. We're human. You're only human. We're all human. That only makes you just like the rest of us here on earth, just human. You know what I mean? As far as we know. As far as we know. As far as we know. But I don't want anyone thinking that maintaining that consistency and discipline is gonna derail you from anything but growth. It's not. It's gonna take you straight to the path of improvement. Straight to the path of improvement. It takes 30 days to make a habit. 30 days. Only one to break it, but 30 days to make it a habit. So I challenge everyone to try to, find, even if it's the smallest situation, find someone that find someone, something, maybe an old job you probably were wrong for the way you walked out on them. Maybe an old friend, the way that you ended the friendship over reasons that they couldn't control. I'm not going to tell anyone to reach out to an ex because especially some of y'all might be in relationships and I'm not causing no problems. But maybe reach out to someone that you think you may have wronged or there's a situation you can make amends for. Try to take the first step and see how it makes you feel. See how it makes you feel. Hey, listen, if you try and they throw it in your face, guess what? You tried. You can let it go now. You ain't got to worry no more. You tried to make amends. They didn't want to make amends. Case closed. Okay. Case closed. Simple as that. Case closed. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do isn't just walking away from a situation. Okay. It's staying. It's fixing what you broke. It's becoming the person you promised you would be. Growth isn't always about new beginnings. Sometimes it's about repairing the old ones. And again, if it's repairing it, that means it's not destroyed. It's just broken. It's just broken. It's not destroyed. There's a chance. From was it number? So you're telling me there's a chance. There's a chance. There is one. So I actually want to do a closing affirmation with you all today. I was asked to do one, and I'm going to do one with y'all today because I think that it is needed after the conversation that we just had. I think it is so much needed. Just take a breath with me. Take a breath with me. Tonight, I choose growth over ego. I choose responsibility over excuses. I choose healing over running. I accept what real change looks like and that it takes time. And I commit to showing up consistently, even when it's uncomfortable, even when nobody's watching. I release the need to be perfect, and I embrace the work of becoming better. I give myself permission to repair what I have damaged, to make amends where I can, and to walk forward with humility, patience, and purpose. I understand that trust is built through action, that love is shown through consistency, and that strength is found in selflessness. Tonight, I choose to be the version of myself that my future will be proud of. And tomorrow, I will show it. All right. Amen. Amen, brother. Amen, brother Quan. Amen. But all in all, I do just want to say with that, I hope we are still all just trying to improve and be better in the best manner and way we can. I say again this year, let's take care of our mentals. I hope you all are doing the same as I am doing the best I can for mine. And so far, so good. You know, everybody continuing on, striving on, doing better, and making it one more day to be a better person. I salute you. I'm proud of you, and I'm so happy you're choosing a better way and better option. You know, I'm so happy. Um, a journey is going to be a journey. Sometimes there are some people that you want to reconnect with and you don't know how, and maybe it starts with apologizing. Maybe it starts with you acknowledging the wrong you've done to them. Maybe it starts with the fact that you just need to hear them out on what they had to say about it. Who knows? Who knows? But all in all, I think that there are a lot of people in this world that love some people and they refuse to reach out because of their pride and their ego. They refuse to step up and be better and acknowledge the issues because their pride will not let them. I think that is sad for them, that they have to miss out on a person that they love because they will not let themselves do so. I hope that we can learn to stay away from that or get away from that. Sometimes it may be necessary, but sometimes I think if it's a person that's going to help you grow or be a better person or somebody you love being around, and they're not toxic or bad for your environment, I'll say, then I don't see what the issue is with making amends. I think it's always talked about with forgiveness. And I always say, I think forgiveness is great. You can always forgive. You never have to forget, but you can always forgive because it's for you. It's not for them. Forgiveness is always for you. You're not doing them a favor by forgiving them. You're doing yourself a favor. I kid you not. So forgive them, but you don't have to forget what they did. Let me give you a minor example. I don't have to be extreme this time. Let's say someone gave you, or you let someone borrow 20 bucks, or someone let you borrow 20 bucks. Okay. And y'all stop talking. And it's because you stopped talking to them because you didn't give them the 20 bucks. So years down the road, you want to communicate, but you remember you never gave them the 20 bucks. You know what you should just do? Hey, look, reach out. I apologize. I owe you 20 bucks. Here, let me give it to you. I'm actually going to give you 40 because you waited so long. I apologize. I'm not mad, but how you been? Right? How you been? Now, on the flip side to that, to forgiving that person. Cool. I forgive you. I let it go. I probably didn't really hold it against you, but I forgive you because you acknowledge it and pay me back. But when you come back around in a month or two in a year, you say, hey, I need to borrow 20 bucks. Oh man, I'm sorry. I don't have it, unfortunately. Now it's not because I may actually have it. But I do remember last time I loaned it to you, it took you a couple trips around the world to give it back to me. And maybe that was my last 20 when I gave it to you at that time and I really needed it. So now I just can't rely on you, right? But I forgave you for it. I just can't loan you no money no more. It's not trustworthy, you know. That's how it looks like. That's how the conversation or that's how the situation should look like to me, at least, right? And again, I'm not licensed professional, anything like that. I'm just your friendly neighborhood Quanni, right? Trying to do what I can. Um, Hoping that, you know, if we all see change and see somebody trying to improve and do better in life, that we will do so ourselves too. Because sometimes change is absolutely needed and necessary. Growth is pretty much, you know, unavoidable because sooner or later you're going to have to grow up. You're going to have to grow and be better. Sooner or later, there's a situation or a time where you're going to have to be better. But, you know, you can stay stagnant all you want and see where that leads you. Ultimately, it will get you nowhere, right? Nowhere but the same place you're already at, right? So I just challenge everybody to try to make amends in a selfless way by listening to someone and understanding what the issue really is and where the problem is coming from. Okay. Oh, because typically at the end of the day, when you choose not to, oh, there we go. when you choose not to actually, how do you say it, at least open up the opportunity to make a situation better, I think you're causing yourself to lose out on life itself in a way. You're kind of pushing a person away because you choose not to be a better person or individual, or make amends over a situation you caused. All in all, one day we'll all learn, one day we'll all get there. I just challenge you all to try to make amends with somebody or something in a situation that you may have broken, okay? No matter what the situation may have been, see how that works out. But thank y'all again for coming out to talk to me on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. I do appreciate you so much, so much. But until next week, we're going to check in again and see how y'all doing and what's going on and how it's been. But I appreciate y'all for coming in to tune in with me every week. But I'll catch y'all next time on the hottest radio station on the planet, Hot 702.5 FM. Peace, love, and hair grease. I'll catch y'all next week.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars. On Hot 702.5FM.com.